Okay, the PPTs are whether am I audible? No. Okay. See the PPTs have shared on your screen. Okay, are they visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine then. This is your module 6 and part 2, which we people are going to discuss today. Okay, with respect to the subject public relations, right? So in the part 1, we people have begin this subject with, I mean, this, a module with few basic concepts on something like the issues in public relations which we people have begun, and the challenges which we people may have as a PR practitioners, okay, to practice this public relation in the future. Okay, like adjusting the PR programs and the strategies with the the mobile shift mind of the the audiences, or maybe a targeted population. Then hyper personalized content which people are going to, then like local type of industry where people can make use of both local as well as global strategies for reaching the public, right? Then real time crisis, then death of traditional journalism, where new way of reaching the target audience with the required content, okay, or a message that you people want to make them to know about it. So using a traditional type of journalism has come down, and due to the increasing technology and advancement into communication, right? That will be helping everybody, every PR practitioners need to have use them and reach the target audience more efficiently. Okay, and then transparency, that every organization is working on knowing their public as well as public should know about the organization. Then also we went to some measurement, the power of image and brand values, and also integrated communication were discussed into the challenges. Then we had something like public relation challenges, credibility. Okay, what you people show. Then the multiple channels what nowadays organization is using in reaching the their publics. Okay, by the use of social media. Okay, as an example, one among them, and two-way PR, where interaction is happening with the between the organization and the public. Then there are certain types of issues which were discussed, like latent issues, emerging issues, hot issues, and fallout issues. From the latent till, if you say fallout, the intensity of the issue raises and the discussion between the public regarding an issues will be very higher and higher. Slowly, it is going to be increasing from latent to emerging, emerging to hot, and hot to fallout. So these were few things which we people have discussed into your previous class of module 6, part 1. So now we are going to begin with part 2 of module 6 of your public relation from target audiences. Now see, these target audiences is a term that is going to be referring specially for a certain type of groups which are going to be targeted in the form of those people will be viewed as an acceptance of the message, or say a content which you people want to make them to know about it. Okay, so any programs are there, any issues are there, and regarding that, if people want to communicate, then you will be communicating to certain group of say audiences. Those audiences will be termed as a targeted people. So these people will be some one or the other stakeholders of the organization, which are going to be a part of success and failure of the organization. So the certain decisions which an organizations will be taking on certain aspects, these stakeholders will be what we said a targeted audience will be like affecting due to their opinion about the issue program towards the organization. So target audiences may comprise the entire individual stakeholders groups or publics who belong to several different stakeholder groups. Says that the different stakeholders groups for an organization, right? It may be customers, it may be government authorized bodies, it may be suppliers, etc., etc. Okay, so in order to define your target audience, you should focus on certain elements. The major three elements we have that has to be known by any PR practitioner of the organization. Okay, in defining their own set of target audiences to whom those people are going to communicate. Okay, regarding the public relation, okay, programs. And we usually have to ask, or we have to know about it, where those people live. It's very important to see that, where those target audience are living. Okay, which are the areas has to be identified. Along with that, what usually they read. Now this is a type of knowledge that any PR practitioners has to know that, what makes them to be more interesting for reading on certain issues. So when you people are going to draft a message, how you people are going to draft, which will make them to get more interest about the issues and the content into the a message which you people are delivering to those people, and that will be making some behavioral changes among them by making them to know about the issues. Along with that, where people can help them to develop certain image of the organization by use of that communication. So what they read, okay, that has to be known, and you people have to reach them with that particular concept. Okay, so then we have third, the characteristics. Okay, these characteristics will be purely maybe behavioral aspects, psychological aspects of those targeted audiences that you people have to keep in the mind, and you people have to understand their all complete demographic profiles, their attitudes, their behavior, right, their likes and dislikes, their opinion about certain issues and elements. So these you people have to take care of, understanding where they live, what they read, and what are the characteristics of the target audience has to be known. On that basis, that you people can say that, these target audiences are having certain type of behavior which has to be, changed according to the requirement of the organization. Okay. So next we have something like different types of audiences that we people are going to know. One, we have an active audience. These active audiences are highly interested people, or audiences, or say members. Okay, those are very highly interested towards the organization. Okay, and any issue or any cause that you people find into organization, they are the first foremost people to know about it. That much of interest those people will be having towards specific type of organizations. Okay, now see, like audience members who already are interested in an organization issues and also related causes, right? So these people do not wait for an information which should be furnished to them by the organization. They will be having lot of interest about the organization to know, and those people will be taking an initiation, right? Those people will take an initiation, and that initiation makes them to collect information about the organizations and related issues and causes. So these people are very actively going to seek the information about the organization, right? And they very carefully listen. That's why they say they seek it out from any sources or many of the sources what those people may have in collecting the information about the organization. And when doing so, these people will be very highly a good listeners. Being a good listeners, it means that, those people have a lot of interest in knowing about the organization and issues related to that. Okay, so these are called like, active audiences, and we have like passive audiences. These are something like, they are not so much interested in an organization, these type of members. Okay, or any issues related to the organization or cause related to the organization, but no, and also we say who are not interested at a particular specific time. We say we cannot say that forever these people are not interested. For the particular time period, if you people assess them, they may not have so much of interest in knowing it. But what happens is, very few groups are made up, entirely of active or passive members. Now these people will be helping. Okay, indirectly those people are going to receive the information from the active group, because these passive audiences will be also a member of the groups into which even few active audiences are present. So those people will be transferring information to these people, and then automatically the knowledge about the organization issues or causes will be built into them. Okay, so they this key often is to determine whether the majority sits where the majority sits. I mean, whether active audiences are more in the group, or say passive members are very high in the group. So in each group can be, you can find both type of audiences, active and the passive audiences. Then we have intervening audiences, the third. Now, see, these are the audiences which will play a major role in passing the information. Okay, so these people will be like an endorser of the information what organization has, and that will be reaching to the active audiences. Right now, see here, a group that can intervene with the target audience by passing and on and even endorsing your message. This audience often is made up of individuals who are opinion leaders or say key influencers with your target audience. So these people will be knowing that target audiences are interested in which, because being close to them, acquainted to them, those people these especially interviewing audience will be helping you people to take your message to the active audience or targeted audience, right? And what happens is this interviewing audience will be playing a role like, say, opinion leaders, or they are going to influence the targeted audience on certain issues to think about it and to know about it. So somewhere these people will be like an endorsers, or we say advertisers of your own information to the target audiences. Fine. So next we have media audience, all those individuals who are going to read your message, who are going to watch or going to listen to a specific media outlets. Many media organizations will be having their own audiences with certain demographic characteristics specifically, who will be having lot of interest in those type of medias. Okay, they say organizations compile like media organizations compile like demographic and psychographic information on their audiences. So you have to identify that which are those medias who are going to attract your target audience. Fine, and you people have to select such a media, okay, to disseminate your information to them, right? So these are the target media audiences. They will be also like acting your target audience. And we have delivered audience. You say all potential or actual viewers, readers, listeners, or practitioners who can be reached. We say it as delivered audience is that how much it is possible by any organization in reaching the audiences. So if they are able to reach those audience, it means that they will be a delivered audience. If in case, okay, condition says that if your message or content or your information, if it reaches the audience, those audience will become your delivered audiences. Then next we have something like effective audience. All we say potential or actual viewers or readers, listeners, or practitioners in the target audience who are part of the delivered audience. Now we say it as these effective audience are those audience where if you people are reaching your target audience among those delivered audience. So if everybody has gone through the message that you people have received, I mean sent, and those people have received it, we say them as completely a delivered audience. Among those delivered audience, if you have your own target audience and if you make your message reach them, okay, who are among the delivered audience, now we say them as effective audience, who are having lot of interest in knowing about your information, and the same thing they are going to discuss with the others. Then we have next like public. Okay, am I audible now? Any doubts that you people have? Any doubts that you people have in the previous a few slides which we people have begin today? Am I audible now? At least say yes to that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have next concept something like public service as a preventive public relations, we say. Now we can say it as like where these public services which will be done by an organization, it may be one to create a good image about the organization among the public, as well as to have certain positive, or we say favorable type of attitude or behavior towards the organization. Now if you have people who believe in the organization, right, and who will be having lot of confidence among the organization, if you have those set of the people, tomorrow if any in the future, if in the future, for example, if any issue happens, and to anticipate that issue, these people will play a very great role, important role, which who will be helping you people in solving those such type of problems, and the effect of that issue or crisis will be very much minimized due to the confident people who have, okay, as a stakeholders, about, who will be having, organization will be having as a stakeholders. Fine. So here public service, when we talk about these programs, are expressions of an organization concerned for any sort of problem which you people find in the society, what we call it as a societal problems, and also the need of the society which is going to be satisfied, okay, or which will be delivered to those type of problems, social problems, by the organization. So organizations will be helping a society to solve their problems. Either those people are going to start, or they will be an initiators as an organization, they will be an initiator of certain programs. They will be having their own programs to solve certain societal problems, okay, or satisfying their needs. Or sometimes what happens, some or maybe a government agencies will do, or some any of the other agencies, NGOs, who will be doing activities or programs. Those activity or programs will be also joined by the organizations. So we say like these public relation responsibilities of any organizations who are going to engage in public service programs is normally that of either those are creators, as I told you, they are the initiators of those programs to solve societal problems as an organization. Or sometimes what happens, these people, maybe a implementer, will be joining a hands with some other people who have already big in those programs. Either they will do it on their own, or somebody else is doing it. These organizations are going to join their hands in implementing the program. So some or one or the other, those people are going to, as an organization, they will be concerned about the society, and those people are going to contribute to the society of any problem if the society is facing, right? So this role calls for handling of like strategy of planning and research. If you please recall your module one, where we say that without understanding what is the present situation, okay, that a relationship which is going to be built, which is built between the organization and the public, to make it alter or bringing some new programs, requires a lot of research in understanding what are the probable gaps that an organization finds in having good relationship with the public. So that requires to have a strategy. So it says that to be a creator implementer, you can play a role like a strategist, or say planning, or and a research which an organization can do for them. Then program can be designed by the organization, okay, and this sometimes if we talk about an implementer, where the government or any educational institution who are doing these type of programs or the public services, okay, to solve the societal programs, these organization can be or acting like a liaison officer, a mediator, or we say like a linkage between the government and education institution to the public. Then we have meetings and events can be conducted, right? And media placement and relations, where they can invest in taking the program in a very, increasing the scope of that, and also reaching more geographical areas to solve it. Okay, to make what is actually happening by the organization, okay, and how much those people are contributing to the public service. Then preparation of printout, audio, and visual materials, or maybe interviews and news conferences, which these people can do to raise the awareness among the public regarding these public services, what those people can receive. Fine, how best they can utilize it. For that also, the organization play a role of taking them with some communication. So we have something a special interest, what we say PRSA, the Public Relations Society of America, which is going to provide the members the opportunity to network with the others in their field of interest through special group interest meetings. And even now this is where this PRSA will be helping any organization to identify, okay, the interested people who are working in some similar type of field which an organization is having intention to work into. So that type of network is going to be built between the organization and those interested groups which have similar type of idea of serving the society. Okay, so this will be helping them to connect, which will be build a network with the other special interest groups. Okay, so here this sections may be something like these are examples they have given, like professional interest sections, like it may be a non-profit organizations and associations or some corporate communications, then counselors academy or counselors to higher education, educators academy. If any organization want to invest, or say they want to go into some programs to help uh, as students to go for higher education, they can join the hands with the counselor to higher education. Okay, employee communication and etc etc. It goes with the health, or it goes with the technology, travel and tourism. So these all things can be like example for the professional interest sections. Then we have the importance of compromise, because when we talk about issue, it has to be solved. So issues usually going to be solved on the basis of what the compromise, what happens between the organization and the public who is going to be affected by any of the issue which is going to be generated by the organization. Fine. So one of the best way to reach your full potential within an organization and to increase confidence is to understand what type of compromise one can make. So if you want to have a good, relationship in the organization with the employees, one compromise is needed. If you want to have good relationship with the external environment, with the stakeholders, even that also requires a type of compromise where there will be a calculation that something give and take which happens, right? Even organization can find itself a little profitable, okay, by losing something little to the public. So it is something like having an assessment of what can be the best proportion of gain and loss. Okay, fine. So we have next, in order to, if you want to maximize the success, okay, and most people probably find the need to compromise in different areas, such as where I was talking about something internally, okay, to generate a confidence among the internal people of the organization. There is an example here, like different areas where you can compromise in the workplace, okay, in the relationship with the internal and external people, right, or any other aspect of the personal life where helping your employees to balance their work life and personal life, right? Okay, so here what happens, by agreeing to not getting everything you want and in acknowledging the other person's desire, conflict can be resolved. So it says that you should find as an organization that what should be lost, okay, where you people can what should be lost for your stakeholders, and what you can gain out of the loss which you people have incurred for helping your stakeholders desire to come true, right? So you have to acknowledge to the other's personal desires, yes. The respect which an organization is going to give to their stakeholders in helping their desire to be achieved. So this can be helping organization to reduce or resolve the conflict which is going to be raised probably between the target audience and the organization. So this might take the form of negotiation in business meeting, in the form of sharing the responsibilities, okay, with the spouse, or we said juggling, or what we said as manipulating the different content commitments to make time for all of one's personal goals, etc. Right? So we have something like building a strong relationships to work as a team or a family. knowing how to compromise can be an invaluable skill. As I told you, sharing the work with a spouse, or if people can alter or make some changes into the commitment to make your personal life better. Right? So what happens if you want to build a strong relationship, that you people should know that what is exactly your team or a family is. Okay, the members into the team or members into the family, both your professional and personal life. Knowing how to compromise with those people, it should requires a lot of skill. Okay, and if you know that how best you people can compromise on certain grounds or basis, which will give both give and take type of policies, okay, between the members and the organization. So it demonstrate your concern for the others' personal needs, as I told you in the previous slide, where you should acknowledge the desire of the others, right? So you people have to have a concern about others' personal needs also, where you people can contribute little for what you people are expecting that he or she has to do for you, okay? And a willingness to meet some of these needs through mutual cooperation. If you are talking about mutual cooperation, it is something he will also lose for the organization has to lose for their target audiences. Fine. So it should be a proportion that both will be having a type of win-win type of situation. Then we have something like, next, recognizing unhealthy, how you people are going to identify that whatever compromise you people have made is very unhealthy or going to be an unhealthy one, right? So here we say, like, although negotiations play an important role in working towards a common goal or a project with other people. Okay, remember, why compromise happens is only because both parties will be working for one particular goal. So compromise is very must. Okay, compromise is very much needed, especially when it comes to achievement of a goal, and this goal or project is say common to both the parties. Fine. And compromise can become unhealthy when they undermine or a personal beliefs, and these people are not respecting the personal beliefs and values of the people who are working in those teams, okay, for the common goal, right? And now you people should find, or say any person should not make a compromise that undermine your integrity. Okay, so you cannot say yes to the compromise which is unhealthy and which is not helping you in getting in return for the service what you people do it for the others. So have a trustworthy mediator can be important during a difficult period. If you find the negotiation is going to be very unhealthy, okay, it's a better thing. It says that researchers say that you people can find good a good mediator, or say a negotiator. That negotiator or say a mediator will be helping both the parties to arrive at certain decision or a compromise which will be having equal proportion of gain and equal proportion of losses. Fine. So common perception about a compromise, believe that there are two main type of compromises. You can find one is a soft one and another is a hard one. So here we have a characteristics of soft compromises, like try to avoid the conflict. Conflicts is a better thing, that instead of compromise all these say circus, you people can go find something a better way of avoiding the conflicts which happens between the both the parties. So organization can avoid the conflict, or people can also avoid the conflict. Generally more willing to give in, so it's better than giving is better, and being free from the conflicts is better. Okay, but see to it that how much you people are going to lose is also one questionable thing. Okay, and often more trustworthy and honesty, says you be more trustworthy honesty, which can never go to the conflicts at all. So compromise, there's no question of compromises if you people are very honest, transparent, and trustworthy to the other parties. When focus is on building good relationship, which where people can build a confidence between each the parties, right? Both the parties. Organization can build a good relationship with the public, where public will be supporting organization in almost all the type of areas or the difficult situations whenever organization finds itself into that. and they are usually interest based compromises searching for a mutual benefit. So it's a soft compromise also says that where it will be something interest for both the parties to come arrive at a certain compromise. So it will be more mutual beneficial result if people can find in the soft type of compromise. But when it comes to the hard type of compromises, the character is something like aim for complete victory. Now one party wants to gain complete or full success on the basis of the other or opposite party's failure. Okay, can pressurize the other party in any of the way. Okay, they can threaten, they can coerce or something like the one party will be exerting lot of pressure on the other party to say yes for whatever this party will say. So this is a hard type of compromise, and this compromise will also happen, no doubt. Doesn't mean that every time we find a soft, compromises. There are certain things. People who are very politically strong and very dominant people in the society, they do such type of hard type of compromises. The other parties will say yes for reducing the damage into their life or damage into their businesses. Okay, then we have often lack of consideration for the needs of the other party, where one party will never think when he's forcing the other party to say yes, and the other party's needs and wants will not be considered. So they are usually power based competitors. As I told you, politically it may be money or any sort of resources which will make them to be more powerful. So they are usually power based sorry, they are usually power based compromisers who view successful compromisation as completely getting their own way. So they find that compromise is such that if they get completely whatever those people are intended from the other party, in the way those people think that they should have complete profit. So this is what characteristics of hard compromises. Then we have something like issue anticipation. Okay, then public relation through environmental monitoring. You take a research or connecting with the targeted public can provide an very early warning that any potential problem which are going to be arriving for the organization. So what you can do instead of getting an issue and running behind to solve it. So it's better you people should be prepared. Okay, you should collect an information about the potential issues which are going to be affecting the organization. So you should make research, better research, and you should have all the time scanning the environment, internal and external environment, to identify what may be the probable potential issues which are going to hit the organization. So anticipating, analyzing and interpreting public opinion, attitudes and issues that might impact for a good or a ill the operations and plans of the organization. So all the time you people have to have eye on even public opinion also, right? So how those people are interpreting the organization and the related issue with the organizations may do it. So you, before they do something, you people have to have good and develop a good attitude among the publics, where should be supporting the organizations, right? So issue management is an anticipatory or strategic management process that will helps organization detect and respond appropriate to the emerging trends or challenges in the socio potential sorry political environment. So you as an organization should also know how to manage the issues. So issue management is very important in the public relations. Instead of having what we say prescription from the doctor, it's better to have always precautions that you people will be avoiding to take the service of the doctor. So the same thing happens here also in public relation. Instead of this issue handling, a issue arises and you people start working on handling the issue. Instead of that, minimize the issue or stop the issues happening. Okay, and it will be affecting the organization. Then we have something like scenario technique. Like scenario planning aims to produce flexible plans to deal with a potential crisis. Now we say like where any potential crisis which are going to happen, okay, and organization comes to know, these type of scenario planning will be helping them to be more flexible with the plans, and immediately those people can deal and adapt those plans in dealing with the any sort of potential crisis which are going to be raising and affecting the organization, right? So it combines known facts with educated guesses, okay. So what you can do is you can have a good research and collect the information about the facts about the any potential crisis which is going to hit the organization, okay, and also educated guesses on the basis of experience, on the basis of the expert opinion on potential issues can be taken and kept, fine, to get prepared to safeguard the organization from the issues. So for example, like the potential reaction of the press to the news that an employee has committed fraud in the organization, so that can also sometimes affect, okay. Now this is an example. One method of scenario planning is to ask what are the worst things that could happen to your organization or your client because of the fraud which has been done by the employer. So this can be the better question or method you people can find a solution. If an employee has made a fraud in the committed fraud in the organization, that is not going to affect to the organization as well as the client. So it's a better thing to see that clients are not affected, right? The targeted public or audience are not affected because of the fraud which has been committed by the employees. So if you that has to be told to the public before any issue is becomes very bigger in the eyes of public, and those public will be reacting negatively towards the organization, okay. So this was all about your issue and types of issues, okay, issue management, and some of the techniques what we people have gone through, and also the types of compromise, okay, compromise and the type of compromises, fine. This was one part of your module 6. In the next part we people are going to discuss on crisis management, okay. um, this will be a part 3 of module 6, fine. So later probably in the next class we may complete your syllabus of public relation, and the same syllabus will be once again taken in the form of revision, okay, till your end semester, okay. Along with that, some few question papers, if you find it, let's solve it, okay, and also along with that cases will be solved, fine, okay. So as if now okay, for today we people are going to stop the class. Any doubts that you people have till here? Any doubts?